So I was invited here. First of all, I was invited here because there is this thing called Women's History Month. And you're probably like, well, he's a man. What does he know about women's history? Well, I think we all have one thing in common. We have a mom, right?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, so we have this woman in our life that means a lot to us. Wherever she is right now, however she means to you, however, my mom brought me in the world. So, my mom's a very special person to me. Everybody's story is not the same, but I'm going to tell you a story about me and my mom and how we persisted and how she persisted through tough times. So, the title of my message today is Nevertheless, She Persisted. Who knows what perseverance means? Anybody can define perseverance for me? It's a big word. Who's ready to tackle it this morning? Perseverance. What does that mean? Couple words. Just what does it mean? Give me some words. Perseverance to what? To do what? Come on. Y'all got some, y'all got this, Dad. Go ahead. Not give up. Persevere. Not give up. Anything else? Let's keep it going.
You just got like, whoa.
To not give up. What else? Persevere to what? Push. Right? What else? Persevere to what?
Keep going.
Keep going. Persevere to what? Never quit. Persevere to what?
Yes.
Persevere to what? What else? Keep going. Never quit. What else? What do you got back there? Perseverance to what? Dig deep. What are we doing here?
Keep trying.
Keep trying. Right? So never quit. To keep going and keep trying, right? Not settle for less. To what? Show up, right? We're here. We're here at school. Right? So we're persevering every day we wake up and come to school and learn. That's persevering because life has a lot of obstacles. But for us to even be here today, for me to be here today, for me to work on this project till 1 a.m, to wake up at 5 a.m, to go pick up my boy for 6:30, to spend money just to come here and talk to you guys, perseverance. I love perseverance. I never did, but the story switches. And today we're going to talk about my mom. It's the story of how my mom overcame a near fatal car accident and how I overcame from going to a high to a low fast. Fast. Think about that. From a high to a low, just like that. So as you can see, there's preparation in the process. This is me writing for the London Youth Talent Show last year, 2017. It's a lot of pages, right? Right? Listen, man, I remember talking to Curtis Goodwin, and I wanted to quit. It was like 3 weeks before the show, I had nothing written. We had like 6 months to work on this thing. So I was busy, I wasn't showing up to practice, I was feeling guilty, I wasn't connected with the young people, because the year before, it was really great, and I was really connected. This year, a lot of obstacles, man. I had to persevere. And I was telling him I wanted to quit. He said, no, if you quit, I quit. And he's the director of the show. So we made a deal. I said, you know what, I'm not gonna quit. He said, you know what, I'm gonna help you, let's go. And I wrote this right here, this message. And this is me preparing it. And next one?
Yeah.
10 pages, y'all. So obviously there's the talent show right there, the high moment, right? It's the day of the show. Woo, lights, camera. We got Rise Up. That's the title, Rise Up. When you fall down, what do you do?
Rise up.
You rise up, right? So I felt like I fell down. I felt like, man, this life is kicking me and beating me up. How am I ever gonna pick myself up? But that was the title of the show, was Rise Up. How convenient that I was going through a tough time and the title of the show by itself gave me motivation to persevere. Oh yeah, and we sold it out already. This is a moment where I was delivering a message. There's 1,500 people here. You know what my goal was? Little old me. Not too confident, just wondering. I was trying to get 1,500 people to stand up at the end of my poem. I did a spoken word piece. That was my goal. I was like, man, right now it happened. Imagine if that could happen. I tell you what, in this moment, and if you're still in your seat, I just want you to think, what's it gonna take for you to get up to? My family came and did their thing. I guess the rise up movement now depends on you. I love y'all. But in this moment, I had 1,500 people on their feet. That was my goal and I accomplished it. Imagine that. And imagine all the people who never would have heard this story, because my story was kind of crazy. My story wasn't simple. My story wasn't easy. My story wasn't the normal story. You know, go to school, go to college, have a good life, get a good job, get a nice car, get a nice wife. My story was obstacles, perseverance. My story was addiction. My story was I didn't know how to fit in the world. My story was I took a long detour and had to come on back. And it took a long time. When you go off the road for a long time, man, it takes a lot of perseverance to come back on track. So that's why I encourage you guys to stay on the track that you're on. Because you go far too far, it's not easy to come back. But this is my story about perseverance. And that's the high moment, right? Everything good. People are clapping. Oh my goodness, I get off the stage. It's like the best feeling ever, right? Man, I just killed it. Just killed it. Feeling good. I accomplished what I wanted to accomplish, right? Go to the next one. The high moment. The high. The high. Look at that. We're at Daddy Jack's having fun, laughing. This is great. You know, got pictures flowing in already. People commenting. That was great, Marco. Good job. Everything's good. Next one. The high moments. The next day, the low came what? Fast, man. Life happens fast. Boom. You could be riding the high in the clouds and then boom. Everything just falls apart. And I don't know if you know what that looks like. Does that look like a good scene?
No.
No, right? It doesn't. It's not a good scene. And it wasn't a good phone call the next day when I was shopping at Family Dollar, just going to get some groceries, going about my life. I'm walking down the street. People are like, Marco, beeping their car, you know, hugging me through the windows. Thank you so much for that story of hope. That story how you persevered and made it out of the struggle. Man, my son is going through something. He's hooked on drugs. He doesn't know how he's going to win. I don't know what I'm going to do. Wow, I saw you and your mom there, and I see hope. And then boom, I get the phone call. And the funny thing is, we always have our phones on us, right? Always got our phones. I left my phone at home that day. I left it at home. And I went to the dollar store, and I'm coming back with my bags, because I didn't have a car. I was walking. I come home, I look at my phone, a message from my dad, which is okay. Then a message from my sister, like, oh. Then I got that feeling in my stomach. Like, my dad messaged me, and my sister messaged me. The only one left out is my mom. So I get the call. Your mom has been into a car accident. So I'm like, what? This is crazy. I'm in the house. I don't know what to do. That's in Hartford. I don't have a car. I'm in New London. She lives all the way in Hartford. The low came fast, y'all. Just like that. Took my high away. Took all my joy, robbed it, stole it, grabbed it right out of my stomach. And now I'm like, this is crazy. What's happening? I don't even know if my mom's alive. Next one. Performing through the pain. Now, the short story about that car crash was my mom survived and she was wheeled to the ER in Hartford. And I was able to get up there. My pastor, she brought me up to the ER and I saw my mom as she was coming in. And, she's all messed up. She just, her leg was shattered. She had spinal fractures, all types of stuff. She's on the ER strep table. I'm there with her. And my mom's there, my sister, and we're just there at this moment. It's crazy. And here's a quick crazy story of how things like always work together in life. Now the doctor that was treating my mom, 2 years ago, he found me at Hartford Children's Hospital lying on the bed, hooked up to tubes. I had just overdosed on heroin, drugs, opiates, just overdosed, right? This the same doctor looks at me, he goes, I recognize you. Why my mom's in the ER and then getting worked on? He said, you look familiar. I said, why? I said, I bet I know why. I said, Children's Hospital, 2 years ago? He said, yeah, you look a lot better. And my dad was standing there, because me and my dad didn't have a great relationship, too much, right? And my dad puts his arm around me, and he says, yeah, he's doing a lot better right now. He's doing real good. Like my dad was ready to brag on me. So how convenient is the same doctor that helped me out, saved my life, is now handling my mom? I was like, wow, God, you're doing some crazy stuff. Like, how could that work, right? How could that work? And so he got to see me better. He got to see me good. Maybe that was a little hope he needed for the patients he treats, or for to keep going as a doctor and persevere to help people. You know what I mean? Maybe not look at people who are addicted like, oh, they deserve it. You know, now he can see the story of hope. I'm the story of hope, y'all. So anyway, I leave, a week goes by, my mom's in the ER, I'm visiting her, and I have all these engagements like this to come and talk to young people and go to schools, and I call that performing through the pain. You know, sometimes we come to school and we have issues in life and we have things that hurt, and we come in here and we act out because we don't know how to perform through the pain. We don't know how to persevere through our trials. That's something in life you're going to have to do, y'all. Young men, you're going to have to persevere through trials, or else you're going to be locked up in jail. I was there. If you can't persevere and learn how to navigate and focus all that distraction, if you can't block that out and go through, you're never going to get back to the high moment. You're going to stay at the lows, guys. So I'm performing through the pain. Next one. That's me. About that conference. No, that's all right. About that conference, she came with me. That was 2,000 young people. I mean, it was the biggest stage, biggest opportunity I ever had. I don't know how little old me went to a breakfast in New London and got invited by this pastor. I can't tell you why I was there either, but 2,000 kids, it was crazy. Like me, imagine being like a rapper, right? You know, you'd like to, you know, anybody who wants to be a rapper one day, and like, imagine being on stage. We all dream of that day, right? On stage. Nobody even knew me. And they were all just jumping and screaming. It was one of the best moments. And what if I almost said no to it because my mom was in the hospital. But what if I would have missed out on the opportunity to come back? You know what I'm saying? Because there's always an opportunity to come back. And do we want to accept it? So here's my mom recovering. Multiple, fractures, and they put her leg back together, multiple surgeries. And by the way, the title of this, right? Nevertheless, she persisted. Nevertheless, I persisted. Nevertheless, you guys will persist in your life. You guys will persevere. So here's my mom. This is her leg. That's what it looks like right now. That's her foot. Isn't that crazy? The doctors put it back together like a puzzle. Imagine that. I didn't know if my mom would walk again. She had to go through rehab. And it was cool how I was able to get up there and visit her so many times with no car. Persevere. Took in bus, took in trains, took in whatever it took to get up there to see my mom. Because I live in little old New London, an hour away. Next one. Surgery and reconstruction. That's right. And there we go again. I got to go up there and visit my mom. And now I got to go and bring hope to these schools. And this is my purpose, y'all. We're going to talk about that one day. Purpose. Uncovering your mask. This is me speaking to a middle school in Portland, Connecticut. And I gotta give in hope when it feels hopeless. Can y'all do that? Are y'all willing to step outside yourself to say to the next person, it's gonna be okay, even when you're going through pain? Can you do that? Can you persist? Nevertheless, she persisted. Nevertheless, I persisted. Nevertheless, you will persist. You will persevere, young people. Next one. And there's my mom recovering with my new niece. She's like 3 months right there. And look at my mom. Look at the setup she has. This is in Farmington, Connecticut. This is Mother's Day. That's how my mom spent Mother's Day. My family tailgated and wheeled her out to the parking lot. I wasn't able to be there, you know. So my family gathered for Mother's Day, right? Still going through the process of healing. You know, I'm dealing with a lot of stuff too. Like, I'm frustrated, I'm mad, I'm angry. And this guy that hit my mom, and he just gets to walk. He comes on the wrong side of the road and destroys my mom's life, and we don't even get to get compensated for it. I'm thinking my mom's gonna get a great lawsuit or something. We're gonna be all right. We're already planning on cars we're gonna buy and stuff like that. But life hits you fast when you find out that the other person doesn't have anything, so you get nothing. So what does my mom get? This. And what does that man get? He's probably walking, he's fine. You know, we don't know his story. I'm not here to judge that man, but the thing is, look at life though. It's unfair. That's unfair. If anybody has the right to be mad or be sad or cuss out people, it's my mom. It's her. She got the right to be angry. Man, I never seen my mom mad. One day I saw my mom get depressed. One day she said, you know what? I don't want anybody to visit me in my room. I don't want nobody to come. I just want to be by myself. One day. And she brushed that off the next day and woke up and said, God, I'm thankful to be alive. I never seen my mom complain. Nevertheless, she persisted through all that. It's unfair. Never complain. Still to this day. Next one. Empowering others gives me hope. Find out what you want to do in life, young people. Find something inside of you that's good and give it away. You see what I'm saying? This is my youth group we're downtown New London. I know it's dark. It's that church in the city, my youth generation 412. This is me doing a spoken word with my youth. And look at that. God saved me from limiting myself. I think we do that today. When I asked you guys what you like, you couldn't even say it. You couldn't even say what you like. We are so bogged down and burdened by everybody's opinions and ideas that we can't even say what we like. That just proved my point right there. Limiting ourselves. I did it. I'm not, listen, I did it. I'm 30 years old. I want you guys to get it at 13. I want y'all to get it at 15, 17. And what you can do in your life is, it's limitless. It's limitless what you can do. Trust me, I've only been doing this for 3 years. I was a dope fiend for 10 years. In and out of jail. In and out of places. Homeless. Here I am with you guys, bringing hope. Looking like I got it all together, right? But you don't know inside what I'm dealing with. You don't know the fears that I have too. I just persevere through them. I push through it. That's all I do. I'm a sane person like you. Next one. Perseverance. Nevertheless, she persisted. Nevertheless, I persisted. Nevertheless, you will persist and persevere. Only faith can sustain us. That's my pastor, and that's the only reason why I'm here, y'all. My mom was a praying woman. She had prayed for me, and when she needed it, I gave it back. Next one. That's the reason why I stand today. Here we are. The story switches. Accepting awards. So now I'm going from, I don't know how to deal with all this, to persevering, to keep going and pushing forward. And now look at the payoff when you persevere. You get to stand with your colleagues and receive awards. I never received an award for anything. And here I am, receiving an award for mentorship. And that's me at my pastor's wife's 50th birthday party. He asked me to come and do a spoken word for his wife. That's amazing, because I do spoken word and poetry. That was an honor. Accepting awards, the story switches. If you persevere, the story stays the same. If you do, keep going. Persistence, determining to walk. Look at this. I don't know if y'all can see this, but that's all the handicap equipment that they gave my mom. Look at that. Take a look at that. That's on the curb at her house. What do you do with stuff that's on the curb? What do? You put stuff on the curb for what?
Throw it away.
Throw it away. That's what I'm talking about. Throw it away. All that stuff that's holding you back, wants to limit you, what do? Throw it away. That's what I'm saying. The story switches, man. You persevere, you're going to throw away all the stuff that's hindering you. I see it in your eyes. Everybody here. Next one. That's what you do. If you're determined, you got to determine, y'all. You got to wake up in the morning and say, speak life to yourself. I had to journal things down. I will not be that person no more. I had to write it down. And my story switched. Prayers are being answered. Look at my mom. She's going back to work. That's her first day back to work. After that huge tragic car accident. And that's her and my dad. We have a house in Vermont. She got a little walker still, maintaining, trying to put too much weight on her foot. That's a little boo. Yep, she's maintaining. She's going back to work. Her life goes on. Life goes on. But look at the miracle, right? Get the next one. Nevertheless, she persisted. Nevertheless, I persisted. Nevertheless, you will persist. You will persevere. My mom is back to her regular life with her injuries, but man, listen. Somebody, I want to say it together. What?
Unstoppable.
What?
Unstoppable.
That's you. That's not her. That's not just us. That's you. Every single person in this room is what?
Unstoppable.
Y'all going to talk about it like you believe it. Because I know you do. You just don't got nobody telling you that on a daily basis. You guys are unstoppable. Look at, my mom just sent me this picture yesterday, yo. What is she doing? You know what these are? Ski snowmobiles. My mom is snowmobiling in Vermont. That's crazy. A little broken foot up, all messed up, limping around a little bit, but nevertheless, she persisted. Nevertheless, I persisted because I'm here. Nevertheless, you will persist because your future is bright when you walk out that door. So we are what?
Unstoppable.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Next one. You guys are great. And remember, you are never defeated unless you what? You are never defeated unless you
Quit.
You are never defeated unless you
Quit.
Quit. You're never defeated unless you quit. Not somebody decides for you. Don't let nobody decide for you. Don't be a quitter on account of somebody else's words. Somebody said something about you. Somebody didn't believe in you. Believe in yourself. And I promise you, once you start believing in yourself, you're going to attract believers from everywhere. And when life gets hard, they're going to be right there to keep pushing you forward. I guarantee you that I've seen it with my own eyes.
Please excuse the interruption.
You're excused.
All guest speakers, please report to the main lobby to 40 feet for a group picture. All guest speakers to the main lobby
What does that say?
to 40
Your story's told your story.
Right? Why we hide them for? Yo, when I started talking about my pain, I started overcoming. When I started talking about my issues a little bit, I started overcoming them. Yo, I started tackling stuff like a lineman, a defensive lineman hitting a quarterback. That's how I go at my problems. Like I had the free to hit them, open lane, boom, put them on the ground. Your scars tell your story, people. It's not the nice selfie and the, you know what I'm saying, with the filter telling your story and the nice picture and the coming here dressed up nice. That don't tell my story. It's the times that I was down low, hurting, didn't want to go forward, couldn't go forward, nobody to call, people talking about me. It's the times I persevered. That's what tells my story. My perseverance defines me today. I didn't quit. My mom didn't quit. Next one. I think that's it. So I'm here to tell y'all. I'm here to encourage y'all and motivate y'all. To remind you that life is going to come fast. Right? Happens fast. From a high to a what? Low. From a high to the low. What? Fast. And what are we going to do? How are we going to handle it? We got to persevere quick. Got to think fast. Take time to heal. So I'm here to tell you guys, you can persevere and you can do anything. If I can come here and do what I'm doing, man, listen, y'all can do anything y'all ever want to think in your mind. Believe in it. I never had a vision. I never had a dream. And I hope you guys can start seeing things in your own life to make you go forward. Because all we see is all the negatives. And I pray you guys start seeing the positive stuff that give you the little hunger and a little passion. That's all you need is a little bit of hunger and passion. And get around people that want to support you. My name is Marco Anthony Fabretti. I persisted. My mom persisted. You will persevere too. I love y'all. Have a great day.